Well, welcome this morning. Call the special meeting of the Board of Supervisors to order. Mr. Grandia.
Keisha Johnner.
Here.
Mark Ramey.
Here.
Steve McCombs. Here.
Right. Would entertain a motion for this morning's agenda.
Make a motion to approve today's agenda.
Second. McCombs. Aye. Ramey.
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
Very good. On to business. The Weiler Reclaimer Purchase Proposal. Tyler, with a tie on.
That's good. I get to say something too.
Can't just wear a tie every once in a while.
Hey, it's free country, Tyler. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to reconvene and discuss where we're at with this. There were discussions at the previous, I think it was at the previous regular board meeting about the possibility of an equipment sharing agreement and joint purchase with Jasper County. I guess upon my last correspondence, I did not receive any feedback back from Jasper County. I don't know, Keisha, maybe at some point you did from one of their supervisors
Yeah.
regarding the possibility of a joint venture, but I'm assuming that ship has sailed because today's the day. And
Yes, I'm
and
in
I-
several meetings with a supervisor, couples up there, and House File 718 has really kind of impacted them. And so they just didn't feel that they had the money to spend it at this point. So,
yeah, that's becoming a pretty hot topic across our County Engineers Association. 718, I think there are more than the two counties I think I'd previously mentioned being affected by that. So thankfully we are not one of them. But so I did send you an email with some information prior to this board meeting about where it was at, and I will say, just refreshing my page, the recommended max bid that I was going to suggest, we're over that already. Because I was going to suggest a total bid of a total outlay if the county was interested of 250,000, meaning our bid would have to be 227, 270 with the buyer contingency or with the buyer premium to stay under 250. Current bid's at 236 with an hour remaining. So,
Yeah.
the challenges we will face, we would like to continue, Mike and I would have seen the benefits, although they're short term. We've also seen the benefits from visiting with other counties who have done base one. It's not impossible to do base one without a reclaimer. It is by far the best method of incorporation. It's the most consistent. You're going to get your biggest bang for your buck, and the benefit of doing base one is to reduce our maintenance costs. And if we don't get that uniform mixture, then we're coming back to fix some areas, which other counties have experienced that aren't doing it with some type of a reclaimer, milling or tilling type machine. So, so the challenges we face as far as renting machine, we talked with Weiler and with Ziegler, who is the dealer. Ziegler Cat is the dealer for Weiler equipment, about any options for leasing or renting. The rental option, because they don't currently have one of these machines in their rental fleet, the option was really only available if we committed to a year-long rental, which then we're over $400,000 in rental fees.
Yeah.
So then we come back to what Mike and I met with Ziegler on some other equipment things and kind of picked his brain about other types of equipment like this they have in their rental fleet currently,
Right.
which are bigger, a little more cumbersome machines, but they do the same thing. They used to have what, 4, I think he said, in their fleet. They maybe have 1, maybe 2. He wasn't exactly sure at the moment. Depends on the year, but generally contractors are renting those out, and once they're out, they may not come back all year, he said, all summer long, because everyone wants them at the same time.
Sure.
So with them having one or two in their fleet, likelihood of us getting one is pretty slim, is what the salesman was indicating. to
So,
us.
so a couple questions, Tyler. So, and Mike, either one of you can chime in on this. This does, if we say no, the price is now too high, right? This doesn't impede our ability to continue to repair our roads, do the things we've always done. This doesn't degrade our capabilities at all, right?
It does not.
Okay.
No, what we were doing with this was being more proactive and trying to make the infrastructure that we have more sustainable and, ultimately reduce or reallocate the resources we have within our budget, which, what we can get out of our budget is diminishing because of inflation, as I've made you well aware
Right,
of. So,
Right.
so yeah, trying to make the roads that we already have, the infrastructure we have in place, more sustainable with reduced maintenance and cost over a tenure, then, that was the idea. It doesn't change anything else that we do.
Right. It just means current cost as is, you got to deal with inflation on various materials, those types of things. And how many, so you've got in the note here, you have 9.5 miles planned for the summer. Is that like the maximum you can do? Keisha was showing me a picture of the machine and how it worked. So is that like the most miles you can do in a summer or in a period, or can it do more than that?
The machine is capable of doing more than that.
Okay.
That's gonna be stretching our limit in a good
To support it.
year.
So the
just-
machine
just
can go
having the
farther,
labor-
but
labor, the time available in our summer to do 9.5 miles is gonna be really pushing it.
Okay, okay.
What's the base price of that machine? I forgot.
So a new machine, Ziegler quoted us last week was 483 or 485. 485,000.
And assuming one is available to rent, it's about $33,500 a month.
Yeah, so the one Ziegler has in their fleet now is in that $33,000 a month range.
And we,
If they were to purchase this particular Weiler machine, they would want 33,500 per month with a commitment of 12 months, contiguous
Yeah.
12 months.
I-
Which basically means we're paying for the machine at their cost.
Right,
At
right.
402,000.
How
we're
many-
paying for it.
what would you say, Tyler, would be our average usage per year monthly? 3 months out of the year? That would be
Probably two.
2? Okay.
And that would be, on average, I would like to continue to do 4 to 5 miles
So we're
a
looking,
year.
we're looking at,
And the reason we're looking at 9.5 this year is because that's actually across two fiscal years.
Yeah.
We would do
So-
some in June.
so even if we could rent it by the month, that'd be $67,000 a year.
Yes.
If even if we could rent it monthly.
Which I get.
So,
you know,
so,
if we're-
yeah, so Tyler, I'm gonna give you just my gut reaction, and I think I was fine with the dollar amount when we had the opportunity to split it with Jasper. But I'm struggling a little bit spending this kind of money on something that doesn't deteriorate our ability to take care of our roads as we've already planned to do. And we can't support the machine to its fullest capacity with our own labor. So as that cost goes up, it's going to sit idle for 10 months out of the year. I struggle with spending this kind of money. I think we maybe keep our eye on it, see if another one comes available, another partnership opportunity comes available, but I don't think I can get behind spending this amount of money on this particular item.
Well, I don't totally disagree with you. And that's
Yeah,
why I
I'm
wanted to
struggling with
bring it
that
back
too.
to you.
I like the concept.
struggle
though.
with
I
that
love
as
the
well.
concept.
Do I want the machine for us to be able to do it at will when we want to do this type of work? because I see the benefit and know
Yep.
that there is benefit in doing it? Yes, I do. And I think Mike does as well. And, you know, we've even had blade operators calling us this spring and saying, as we've had this thaw, you know, the road we did over by Meltzer, he's like, that's the best road I've seen, you know?
Yeah.
But, and that's true. And we hope that continues. But in full disclosure, you know, we haven't seen the life cycle of this play out here in Marion County. We've seen, Mike and I visited Washington County. We've seen roads that have been in place 5-6 years over there, and they're hitting that payoff period. We have not realized that here.
Yeah.
You know, other counties have indicated there is that benefit.
Yeah.
And yes, this made a lot more sense to us.
Of the
as a
of
shared
the
equipment
neighboring
carrier.
counties, Tyler, is Jasper the only one that expressed any interest in partnering, or have we contacted any other counties?
Yes, but their financial situation is
Okay.
a lot different than ours, I guess.
Tyler, I got a question
Or
for
they're,
you.
you know, to our east and west, you know, they're kind of in limbo with engineers and
Okay,
you know, they're not willing to make a commitment to that.
Yeah.
So I have a couple questions for you, Tyler. The machine that we were looking at, does it take the liquid too? Does it have a two-part component to it, or is it just does the reclaimer? How does that work? Just so I can fully
Yeah,
understand.
So it's not just a tiller. There's chemical injection controlled by the machine to the rate in which we specify.
Okay.
So water and chemical, or water and chemical injection at the same time.
So this is why the
incorporated
machine works
into the
better
actual
than what
route.
some of the other counties maybe be using when they're not using a reclaimer. Okay.
Correct.
Does Washington County use a reclaimer?
On a much smaller scale, yeah.
Okay. Is, all
I
right,
mean, they're probably.
the 9.5
quarter of
miles
their investment there,
that you
too.
had planned on doing, you have bought some sort of chemical for that, is that correct? What, do you have some chemicals currently
We
that you
do.
have? So what happens with those chemicals if we can't rent? How long is the life shelf?
We
and-
will. Shelf life, did he say?
Well, we've had mixed
Kinda
reviews on
mixed
that.
reviews,
At
yeah.
one time it was a year, but then when last summer he talked like there really was no shelf life. Is that?
Yeah, as long as we were keeping it in a climate controlled
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
what kind of
can't let it
chemical is
go.
it? Is it calcium chloride type? Or what?
Oh, it's a proprietary product. I don't
Okay.
know offhand what.
All right.
Base
Ah.
one is the name of it.
And then,
My question, I guess, would be, even if I'm struggling with it, but how would we fund it? Would it come out of the general fund, or?
Well, it would have to be a general fund expense or some combination of general fund and lost would be the way we would fund it, because it's not in Tyler's budget.
But the lost money, we've kind of already earmarked.
Yep, yeah, I mean, it's a non-budgeted item, so that would have to be included in the FY 24 budget amendment and a following appropriation, but most likely a general fund expense, because you can use general fund for any of that. And then if you can find an outside fund lost, something of that nature, that could be used as well, as long as it fits the parameters. Like
Yeah.
Fund 2 cannot be used for this,
I,
but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was kind of, I was kind of for this too, when I thought Jasper County was gonna have a partner.
Yeah.
but-
I
Yeah,
still,
and I'm not saying that there isn't a county partner out there.
Yep.
You know, obviously neighbors make a
Well,
lot more sense.
not on this
but-
bid, there's not.
currently, yes.
yeah, you got an hour to go on this one, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're
45 minutes
51.
in.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess I would say, Tyler, keep your eye, for me, eyes to the horizon and see if there's another opportunity to partner. I think with what we're doing for Junction 92, that's a major capital expense.
Mhm.
And we need to finish seeing what some of those impacts are going to be to our funding stream, especially with the caps that have been placed upon us from the Iowa legislature. And I'm just not personally willing to commit that amount of money to something that we're going to do anyway. It doesn't impede us from doing what's already been budgeted. So.
Yep.
Anybody else think differently?
Well, I don't think differently. I'm supportive of the idea, but it's the funding part of it.
Right.
It's a struggle.
I do think as we continue to look for one, I think that it is important that with Tyler and we as a board continue to look at like whether it's around the lake and events. I mean, when it comes to high travel roads, which I'm going to use down below the lake, the cut through that's had to be used. What's that road? I know it's 216th Place.
Howell.
Howell Bottom. Okay, that's a 3 miles stretch there.
Two,
That's,
right.
yeah,
Exactly
well, the
two,
dam
yeah.
is being shut down. That is one road that could greatly benefit from a reclaimer and having it redone. It would
Yeah,
save
bring
us tremendous time in the road department.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in certain times of the year, it's weekly blading and sandy soils there make it even more challenging at times with washboards. They're more prone to that.
Right.
That road, you know, basically our three highest volume gravel roads were on the docket for this.
You know, and that's what we
this
struggle,
fall,
that's
or
what we,
this Summer.
that's what we struggle with in Marion County. I mean, we have all different types of substructure soils in the northern part of the county, southern part of the county.
Mhm.
It's a struggle. I understand that.
And honestly, in some of our industries, I think could benefit from some of this, like even around the Vermeer Road. We talk about that road being, a lot of people use these roads, these gravel roads to cut through to go to work. And they're coming from the smaller communities. And so definitely something that we have to look at. Yeah, it's too bad that we can't get this one. I agree. It's hard to justify it with the amount
Yeah,
that's going.
and
What
I
is it
think-
at right now?
Do I want the machine to see the benefit? Yeah, but I also am not coming to you and saying, we have this in our secondary road budget. 'cause
Well,
we don't.
it doesn't sound like
And-
there's any consensus here to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this.
I mean,
So other than
it-
we all see the need.
It will make things more difficult for us, but we'll find a
right.
workaround some way or
All right.
some way somehow. And maybe in the future, I mean, I think I gave you some examples of other machines that are
Yeah.
available for sale. They don't have the water kit on them. Could they? Sure, I'm sure we could work that out with Weiler if we were to find a county or
Yep.
to purchase a similar type machine in the future, we could make it work and the benefit cost might be there a little
Yep.
more attractively, I guess.
Okay,
So,
all right. So Jake,
It's up to you guys.
I mean, we haven't really decided on a purchase, so there's really no action.
Correct.
So I would just say we just
Close
close discussion.
I would
and
like to say yes, Tyler, but I can't.
no, I get it.
Close discussion.
Thank you
and-
guys for bringing it up,
and
really,
we'll
yeah, so.
Keep your eyes open, see if there's another deal for us and we'll revisit it. Is there a motion to close discussion?
Motion to close discussion.
Second,
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
aye.
Ramey,
Aye. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
McCombs,
aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Very good. Thank you. We are adjourned.